Okay, this lesson I can find fractions of shape. Now there are videos on how to add fractions and looking at fractions of number, but I think really to start with we need to just understand what a fraction is when we look at the shape. Now, if I split this in half and I shade one of these, then I have got 1 out of 2 pieces. 1 out of 2 pieces, and 1 out of 2 pieces is a half. Okay? So the bottom number is known as the denominator. We call it the demon denominator because it lives down below. And up here we've got the numerator. Okay, the nice numerator who lives up at the top. So we've got the nice numerator at the top, the demon denominator down below. Half. Let's have a look at this, and I'm going to split this up into 4 pieces. Each of these pieces in the shape is 1 out of 4, and these are known as quarters. Okay, if I shade this many quarters, how many quarters do I have? Do you know? Pause. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3 out of 4. 3 quarters. I can split a shape up into any sort of number. Okay, I could do this. I could do the Mercedes symbol, and I could have these are 1 out of how many? 3. You remember from one of the other videos, the demon denominator shows us how many pieces we can have. The nice numerator shows how many pieces we've got. So, for example, if I had these children here, okay, how many children can I have altogether? Well, I can have 3 altogether. That's my demon denominator. How many girls do I have out of 3 children? Well, 2 out of the 3 children are girls. Okay, so the numerator shows what I'm looking at, the amount that I'm looking at. The denominator shows how many it could be out of, how many I could have altogether. So if I split this up into thirds, here we go, another third, and I shade this much. How much have I shaded? Correct, 2 out of 3, or 2/3. Let's break this one up into quite a lot, shall we? Let's split it up like this. Okay, and then I'm going to shade, tell you what, use another colour, make it a little bit simpler. I'm going to shade this much of it. Okay, so how much have I shaded? Well, I can see that I've shaded 3 out of how many could I have had? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 out of 8, or 3/8. Have a look at this last one. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some on the board for you to have a go at. That's still 8, so let's do it even more, shall we? Maybe if you've watched the area video, you'd be able to tell me what the area of the shape is. Well, I know it's 4 by 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So I know that here what I've got are 16ths. Okay, let me shade a certain number. I'm going to shade this, and this, this, and this. And how many have I got shaded out? 16. Can you do it? 5/16. Okay, finding fractions of shape is actually not that tricky. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to put a few shapes up on the board, and then all I'd like you to do is work out the fraction. And what I'll also do is I might put a few fractions on the board, see if you can draw the shape to go with it. So, nice and easy really when it comes to drawing fractions, as long as you've got a piece of paper at home, it's not too hard. I'm going to split this one up like this, I'm going to split this one up like that, I'm going to split this one up like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write a couple of fractions here. I'm going to have a quarter here for you, and I'm going to have 2/5 down here. Okay, what you need to do for these top ones is you're going to show me what fraction of the shape is shaded. There we go. Actually, I'm going to do that much for there. And then for these two, I'd like you to draw me a shape with that fraction shaded. Okay, can you have a go at doing that now? Pause. Right, the top one, I've got 1 out of 4 pieces in that shape, so a quarter of the shape has been shaded. For the second one, I know 3 by 3 is going to be out of 9, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 9 shaded. 4/9 of that shape is shaded. Here I've got 1, 2, 3 out of, how many pieces were there? 4, 5, out of 5, 3/5 were shaded. Here it says, can you show me a quarter? Well, you could draw any shape to show me a quarter. Let me do a circle for this. Split it up into 4 pieces, shading 1 out of 4 pieces. One thing you do have to be a little bit careful about is when we divide it up into 4 pieces to make sure that those pieces are equal. If I did it like this and divided it like that, and then I shaded this and said, well, that's 1 out of 4, it's not really a quarter because fractions are equal parts of a whole. Okay, that would not be an equal part of the whole thing. That is an equal part of the whole. There are 4 equal pieces there. So imagine you've got your pizza. You want each person to have an equal slice of the pizza. That's what makes it a fraction. When you get your chocolate bar, if you get a dairy milk, or if you get a Kit Kat, yeah, Kit Kat's a good one to have a look at, aren't they? Because a Kit Kat comes to you as these 4 individual pieces, and each piece of the Kit Kat is a quarter. So if you eat 3 pieces of Kit Kat, you've eaten 3/4 of the whole piece, 3 equal amounts out of 4 possible pieces. Last one there is 2/5 like that. And what am I going to draw? Do you know what I'm going to draw? Doesn't matter at all what your shape is. I'm going to draw a star like that, and I'm going to do that. Split them up into 5 equal pieces, and I'm going to shade 2 out of the 5. Okay, fractions of shape is really, really easy. What I'd like you to do, I want you to just draw me some different shapes. I want you to shade different parts of the shape, show them what the fractions are, and then maybe get a partner or get your mum, dad, brother, sister to test you by drawing down some fractions, and then you're going to draw the shapes to go with it. So I want you to go both ways, drawing the shapes and showing the fractions, putting the fractions and showing the shapes. Off you go.